Hey, everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and with me, as always, is Scribe. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
And the lovely SDA is joining us. Say hi.
Hi.
You know, the last time we did this on my channel, Lady Monkey was here with us, and one of the viewers got upset because I introduced you as the lovely SDA, but I did not introduce Lady Monkey as the lovely Lady Monkey.
Uh-huh.
You know, I always introduce her as the lovely SDA. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, she is lovely, don't get me wrong, but
I was about to say, that doesn't mean anything.
that came out wrong. You know what I mean.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's how I
okay.
introduced you.
I know you love me.
I could introduce her as the garbage fire SDA. That'd be fine.
Jesus.
Hey.
Point taken, but damn. Shade
That
thrown.
was just rude.
I know.
Is it? Can you do it that way? Shade thrown? You young people, I'm not sure how to use your hip news.
I don't
lingo.
know. I'm not black, nor am I gay.
But you're street. I've heard you be street.
You're half gay.
But I'm not penis gay. It's different.
I'm not penis gay.
I found a channel last night quite by accident. Before we get into the news.
By accident.
Well, I was. We talked last night about how I got into that little tiff with Cat Black about toxic masculinity.
Yes.
Yes.
And so I was looking for something to do on toxic masculinity, and kicked myself a little bit because of the janitor video I did just not too long ago. That would have been perfect for this.
Right.
But if you search Cat Black and toxic masculinity, the fourth video that comes up is from a female to male trans talking about, excuse me, I have slight hiccups here. I apologize. Talking about toxic masculinity within the female to male trans community. And
Okay.
this the person is throwing a fit, or well, not throwing a fit really, but pointing out how great it is that in this community, femininity is really being pushed these days. In the female to male trans world, femininity is really being pushed.
Okay.
Which begs the question, why did you switch anyway?
Yeah.
And this person actually says that they get asked all the time why they became a man just to be a gay man. And they go, and he goes, get it straight. I'm not gay. I'm queer.
Oh,
Like,
God.
oh, for fuck's sake.
We can't get it straight. You're queer.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, he eventually gives
He
an
probably
example
wouldn't get it because he doesn't have a dad. Because if he had a dad, he wouldn't have these problems.
She. I just don't understand why you would become a man to be a gay man. But I'm nobody's
I don't
judge.
know. I mean, maybe you just wanted to take it up the ass forever.
But if you get a chance to look it up, you should look it up because it is funny as fuck. I wish I could remember the name of the channel, but like I said, search Cat Black, toxic masculinity, and it's like the fourth one down.
Okay.
Bright. Well, you'll also have to search by like the last month or so, whatever. But it's a bright pink background. Dude's wearing his pretty pink shirt. I'm like, oh my god, got that gay little hormone beard.
Hormone beard? Did you say hormone beard?
Yeah.
Hormone beard, yeah. When women take hormones and they get that beard that doesn't quite
right.
grow in.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
peach
have
fuzz
one
kind
of
of thing.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was
What?
younger. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried
Okay.
much.
But anyway, actually, I'll look it up and put it in the chat while you go ahead and start on news. You want to hit the news?
Sure. You want silly or serious?
Serious.
I like getting serious out of the way first.
Okay, let's go over the shooting in San Diego, which has become something of a interesting topic on Twitter the last couple hours that I saw. So I'll go over the story first and then talk about what I saw on Twitter. Gunman found dead after shooting neighbor. Paramedic once led local new Black Panther Party. Okay. This is from Dallas News, by the way. This breaking story is being updated continuously. A standoff with a gun. Oh, wait. Is this? Oh, no, this is the San Diego. I apologize. I thought this was the San Diego shooting. This is some other.
Do we have a
This
new
is something that
shooting?
happened. That's happened in Dallas. This is something somebody sent me on. So this is a story I got off of our MSS News hashtag.
Oh, okay.
I had thought that it was
And it's
San
already
Diego
fucking
thing.
us up.
And it was my mistake. I assumed it was something. It
Well, how
wasn't.
dare you?
I know. But anyway, I'll go over it regardless because that's what somebody wants to talk about. So this is not the San Diego shooting. Moving on. A standoff with a gunman who shot a neighbor and critically wounded a Dallas firefighter paramedic who came to his rescue ended Monday when a police robot entered an old East Dallas home to find the shooter and a second victim dead. A source identified the shooter as Derek Lamont Brown, who lived in the 3200 block of Reynolds Avenue where the shooting occurred. Brown, 36, had a lengthy criminal history and was chairman of the new Black Panther Party in Dallas in the early 2000s. Officers called to a Reynolds Avenue home at 11 a.m. found a Dallas fire rescue ambulance already at the scene and a firefighter, paramedic, and another person bleeding in the street. As they approached, officers were fired on and had to take cover. A police sergeant arriving at the scene ran to the severely injured paramedic, pulled him out and into his squad car, and drove him to the University Medical Center. Let's see. The paramedic underwent surgery and was in critical but stable condition Monday afternoon. The resident who was also shot is in ICU. Another police officer responding to the call was also injured but was not taken to the hospital. Let's see. Police received information that the suspected shooter was holed up in a house on Reynolds. SWAT was called in, and a police robot was sent into the house where they believed the man was hiding. Once in, the robot located the body of the man believed to be the shooter and another person. The suspected shooter was dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Let's see. The paramedic, an 11-year veteran of the department whose name has not been released, was out of surgery Monday afternoon. Officers on the scene were told that it was just a simple dispute between two neighbors that escalated into a shooting. Okay. Let's see. So, yeah. There you go. I mean, there's other details, but that's basically all there is to it. Everything else is just like reiterating the old stuff. It doesn't look like that him being a Black Panther had anything to do with it, unless that was part of the argument, but who knows? And yeah.
It just shows he's really angry all the time.
Yeah, maybe. Let me
Have
actually.
you ever seen a Black Panther who looks happy? They look mad as fuck all the time. Maybe
I was about to make some kind of joke. I was about to make some kind of joke about like a Black Panther who's an animated character or something, or a Marvel's Black Panther. I think he smiled once in Civil War.
Did he actually smile? He looks serious all the time too.
He was trying to impress Black Widow, I think. Because I mean, who wouldn't want to impress Black Widow?
Yeah.
Let's see.
She's all right.
San Diego shooting here. Okay.
If she asked me to play Finger Twister, I wouldn't say no.
Oh, yeah. Scarlett Johansson, Finger Twister. Okay, and you're going to play a video, aren't you, CNN? Yeah, you are. You're going to deafen me with your stupid video. Go ahead. Go ahead. I can't turn you off. Somehow I can't turn off automatic play the video. Yeah, okay, shut up. Okay. Despondent over the end of a relationship, a gunman entered the pool area of his San Diego apartment complex Sunday and began shooting indiscriminately at people gathered for a birthday party. At some point during the shooting, 49-year-old Peter Sellis took a seat in a lounge chair, pulled out his cell phone, and called his ex-girlfriend to tell her he shot two people. Sellis kept her on the phone as he continued shooting, killing one woman and injuring six before police shot and killed him. Another person was injured in the incident, breaking his arm while fleeing the gunfire in the upscale La Jolla Crossroads apartment complex. A cell phone video appears to show the gunman reclining in a chair beneath an umbrella, legs crossed as he reloads the gun in his lap, takes aim, and pulls the trigger. Though Sellis was white and the victims were Black and Hispanic, Zimmerman said there was zero information to suggest the rampage was racially motivated.
Well, Zimmerman says it, what would he know?
Yeah, I know. Now, this is what I noticed on a couple of the AP breaking news things, is that the first thing they had to clarify was whether or not this was a racially motivated shooting. And I just found that interesting that's like, usually it's either, okay, is this a terrorist incident, first and foremost? And then is it racially motivated? These are the things that are high priority now. And I'm not disagreeing that, patterns holding as true as they are these days. It's not necessarily dumb things to ask. I just find it interesting that that's our first sort of concerns about it all.
Well, for me, I was actually surprised that they went to racially motivated, which it makes sense now, knowing, because I didn't know all about the different colors involved. But usually the first thing you hear is it's not terrorism.
Right.
I am surprised that they're not, knowing that breakdown, what made him pick that area?
Well, it was his apartment building.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
He
Okay, I
was
can
at
see
his
that not
apartment
being
building, and yeah, the people just happened to be there, and
So he
Yeah.
just lives in the hood.
well,
yeah, it's La Jolla. I mean, I don't know much about La Jolla, but
Well, he lives with a bunch of.
La,
Never
La
mind.
Jolla is not exactly the nicest part of San Diego.
okay.
Yeah. So in the hood.
No, it's not quite that either. It's
Well,
in
if
between.
that's will, I don't know.
But as you were reading that, I had this twinge of guilt because it sounds like something I would do in GTA. Right before you log off, when you go to see how many stars you can get and still survive.
Yeah. I did notice something. I forget who it was on Twitter that posted it. But someone had retweeted a post from Tariq Nasheed or whatever his name is.
Yes.
And he was making the argument of, given how little of the San Diego population is made up of African Americans and Hispanics, that how could this not have been racially motivated? And it's like,
Yeah.
well, just proximity, maybe.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, I
real
mean, it
quick,
looks like if that was
I was
where
just gonna say
he
real quick,
lived.
the breakdown that he gave was just for that specific section of San Diego.
Oh, okay.
San Diego itself is much more diverse, especially
Yeah.
in the Mexican population.
Yeah, I didn't really understand what he was trying to say. It's like, okay, so because the people at his apartment complex didn't look like him, then it was racially motivated because he was too lazy to walk outside of his house.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. Not that it matters. It's like, okay, so let's say it was. And
They're still dead.
what does that do about anything? He's dead. The one person is dead. The other people are injured. It means what? Does that mean he is then indicative of the attitude in that area of San Diego or something?
Yeah, it's
what
not
do you
like
hoping?
cheering
Yeah.
on what he did.
Right.
Fucking idiots. That guy.
Who's keeping score on this stuff? I mean, anyway, so there was that. The shooter's dead. In the stabbing incident in Texas, this is another thing that happened today. We don't have much information on this one yet, but one person was killed and 3 were injured in a stabbing attack Monday afternoon on the campus of the University of Texas at Austin. Earlier, officials had said 2 people were hurt, but UT Austin police later said there were 3 that were wounded. Details of their injuries were not immediately available. Campus police said the suspect is a University of Texas student and is in custody. His possible motive is under investigation. Now, I am not making any predictions, but stabbings at colleges. This would be the 3rd one that I'm aware of. Like there was one... wasn't there one up in, oh God, where was it? Was it in Chicago or something where some guy drove his car onto like the campus and jumped out and started slashing people?
I don't remember where that was, but yeah, I do remember the incident.
Yeah, and then there was a second stabbing incident somewhere on a college campus on the East Coast. Oh, Chad will probably know better than I do. But I don't know. We'll wait and see. But seems.
Well, what's the guy's name who did the stabbles?
They have not released that information.
No. Well, if it's Muhammad then it's probably terrorism.
We will find out.
If not, then I don't know.
We'll see. What else? So there was Texas. Now let's see. I got. I asked SDA about this earlier because she's more of a economy wonk than I am. But and this is a story actually I've seen developing over the last several months. It involves Puerto Rico effectively going bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll read this little bit of this update that happened today. And I'll defer then to SDA, who's looked into it a little bit and has a bit more of a more informed perspective on it. A new chapter in Puerto Rico's battle with creditors opens when the indebted U.S. territory stares down a potential bankruptcy filing and the threat of dozens of lawsuits on Tuesday. The Caribbean archipelago, home to 3.4 million U.S. citizens, has nearly run out of time to sign off on agreements with creditors who hold its roughly $69 billion debt burden before those lenders are allowed to sue over its defaults. Advisors to creditors say that more than a dozen lawsuits are likely to be filed on Tuesday, including suits against the Commonwealth and recently elected Governor Ricardo Rossello. A handful of cases in San Juan and New York courts have been put on hold, will also resume. The Puerto Rican government has been granted a respite from litigation until May 1st under congressionally approved rescue legislation passed last year, known as PROMISA. Congress has not acted to extend the stay of litigation, and U.S. President Donald Trump recently expressed disdain for what he characterized as a bailout of Puerto Rico when Democrats refused to agree to a funding bill without the inclusion of additional health care aid for the territory. The island has suffered under a near decade of economic decline, with 46% of its residents living below the poverty line. Jeez. High unemployment and the worsening financial strain has prompted an exodus to the U.S. mainland as residents search for work, further exacerbating its struggle. And they actually had to pass special legislation in order to fund Puerto Rico because there was actually laws that prevented that ahead of time. So, so SDA, I kind of compared this to sort of bailing out a bank. What do you think about the whole thing?
Well, so part of the reason why this is so complicated is because a lot of people still think of Puerto Rico as its own country. And it's not, it's a territory. So it's sort of like a little bastardized state, the way that we've been treating it. And now its GDP to debt ratio is about 68%, which for a country, for a Western country, that's pretty much, that would be a low ratio, which is still bad. It's still really bad. But for a state, the second highest GDP to debt ratio for a state is about 15%, and that's Rhode Island. And what that means is that it would that's the percentage of a country's or state's GDP that it would take to pay back a debt, essentially. So what it means is that they're in really, really deep shit, pretty much. And this probably could have been prevented had we made Puerto Rico a state.
Sure.
Well, they keep voting against it.
Yeah, but we already didn't do that. So now that we've already not done that, making a territory that's in that much debt a state is a bad idea. Because, all of that then falls to us, which is a problem. Well, it falls to us more than it already does.
People keep saying that in the chat that Puerto Rico should be a state, and I don't necessarily disagree with that, but we can't just take it.
Well, especially not now.
Well, yeah, even before their financial problems, which have actually been going on for quite a while, it's another case of kicking it down the road. But the Puerto Rican people repeatedly keep rejecting the notion of statehood. It's been on their ballot several times, and every time it comes up, it fails. So we keep them as kind of a pseudo state, as you said, as a territory, but they don't have the autonomy to do their own thing. But we also don't cover them enough to. No state is even close to failing the way that Puerto Rico is right now.
Right, and
if they wouldn't let it happen,
and if they had become a state, earlier, then they would probably be okay. This wouldn't have happened. But because of, the way it works, just being a territory in a little pseudo state, then, it's just caused all these financial problems. And essentially what's happening is that they are working to try to restructure their debt. So,
yeah.
And essentially if they can't come to an agreement on that, then they have to essentially default on the debt or just declare bankruptcy, which is not a good thing. It's not a good thing for the United States either, because we're essentially responsible for them.
Right.
Another thing that I guess might be important to mention is that another reason why they're having to renegotiate all of this is because their credit rating dropped.
Sure.
And long story short, it just means that their interest rates are going to go way up. The interest rates that they have to pay are going to go way up. The time frame in which they have to repay debt has shrunk from years to months. So,
at this point, they're pretty much, excuse me, they're pretty much running on payday loans. They can get really short-term, high-interest loans that have to be paid back immediately. So,
yep.
horrible situation there.
So I have a slight update on the Texas stabbing. The stabber has been identified as someone named Kendricks White. And Heavy.com has some photos from a video he posted of himself before the stabbing. It's interesting. So he's African American. He's a student. He's apparently posted on Facebook about people's selfishness and Jesus and the Bible and such. And in the photo from the video, he's wearing a scarf that has Hebrew on it.
Was he a Jew-a-doodle?
Well, oh my God. Nothing. I'm just wondering when I wonder if he's one of the what are the Black Israelites or the yeah, I don't know. Anyway, they don't have any information yet on motive or anything. The only criminal record he had prior to this was a DWI a couple of years ago. Let's see if I find it.
Is there a difference between a DWI and a DUI?
Driving while intoxicated and driving under the influence. It's I don't know the legal distinction. It might just be a state-by-state thing and how they phrase it.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, he tweeted, human selfishness lives and breathes just hours before the attack, and often posted about Jesus, God, and the Bible. Let's see. In 2016, he tweeted, oh, God, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I'm really starting to understand this now. Let's see. A day earlier, he also posted a video showing the gunman who attacked police officers in Dallas, writing, WTF, he think this GTA crazy man, and later tweeted, and I thought I was crazy.
And you were right.
And you were right. But yeah, he's been captured.
Because they didn't. He hasn't diddled or anything. He's just been arrested.
Yeah, so yeah, he's arrested. As far as I know, he wasn't injured or at all. There's pictures of him being arrested, and looks like he's wearing the same or some of the same outfit that he was in the video he was filmed himself with. So anyway, yeah, there you go. That's the latest and greatest on that guy.
Well, neato, I guess.
Let's see what else. I got Katy Perry's off-color joke. I've got Trump and Michelle Obama. I got North Korea.
What did Trump do to Michelle Obama?
Before we get there, I did look up the difference between DUI and DWI.
Sure.
Sometimes it's a state difference where it's interchangeable, but in other states they have both. Where DWI is driving while intoxicated on alcohol, while DUI is used when the driver is charged with the influence of alcohol or drugs.
Okay. Let's see. So Trump and Michelle Obama. So Trump administration memo calls for ending Michelle Obama's girl education program. The Trump administration is discontinuing a signature girls' education initiative championed by former First Lady Michelle Obama, according to officials. The Let Girls Learn program, because we weren't doing that to begin with, which she and President Barack Obama started in 2015 to facilitate educational opportunities for adolescent girls in developing countries. Okay, never mind. I take it back. I was like, will cease operation immediately, according to an internal document obtained by CNN. While aspects of the initiative's programming will continue, employees have been told to stop using the Let Girls Learn name, and were told that as a program unto itself, Let Girls Learn was ending. Moving forward, we will not continue to use the Let Girls Learn brand or maintain a standalone program, read an email sent to Peace Corps volunteer employees this week by the agency's acting director, Sheila Crowley. Let Girls Learn provided a platform to showcase Peace Corps and strength in community development, shining a bright light on the work of our volunteers all over the world. We are so proud of what Let Girls Learn accomplished, and we have all of you to thank for this success.
What did it accomplish?
They haven't. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. The White House originally referred questions. I'm trying to see if they actually talk about what they've done. Let Girls Learn was an intergovernmental initiative run primarily at the Peace Corps and the United States Agency for International Development.
Yeah, but what?
The Peace Corps. It doesn't. I'm trying to find something.
Does
Okay.
it really not say?
Let's see. Okay. This I'm jumping ahead in the article, so I'm referencing somebody I don't know the name of. Chen, whoever that is, said the benefits of the program, which drew upon private sector support as well as government dollars, outweighed the cost. She noted that a development program launched by President George W. Bush to combat that's got nothing to do with this.
I found a fact sheet from them.
Okay. Good for you.
So
I don't know.
they invested approximately $1 billion annually in education programs. They helped train over 300,000 teachers.
Okay.
Provided 35 million textbooks and teaching materials. Now, see, I have a problem with that. Textbook and teaching materials. Teaching materials can just be a flyer.
Yeah.
If it's textbooks, that's impressive. If it's flyers, that's stupid. They helped Ethiopia achieve 95% enrollment in primary school over the past 15 years.
Good. Okay.
They helped educate over.
Wait, you say 15 years? Obama wasn't in office that long.
That's what this says. It says since 2006, we helped educate over 375,000 school-aged children in Somalia and supporting education programs in 18 African countries.
Oh, so it wasn't Michelle Obama's initiative. She was just promoted it.
She latched onto it, yeah.
Okay. All right. That makes more sense. Well, that I see. I take back my initial cynicism about it because it's like, well, that sounds entirely positive, especially if it's in countries where they don't have that kind of advancement. And then now, nothing in this article here seems to mention why they're cutting it off. I would assume for financial reasons, but honestly, for as much as it was costing, it's not. It's practically a write-off, all things considered.
What was the contribution?
Let's see. The White House has announced $5 million in private sector commitments towards the programs administered under the banner, bringing the total financial pledges to more than $1 billion for programs in 50 countries. It doesn't say how much was actually coming out of the taxpayer to do it.
Even if it was all $1 billion, that's a drop in the bucket from what
exactly. Yeah, I mean, you take away all the private sector funding and everything else, and if it's, let's say it's $800 million or something, then it's nothing. So I don't. Yeah, but they don't. The White House has yet to provide an explanation as to why. I am curious to know because unless there's something else untoward going on here, it sounded like a completely. I mean, depending on if there's something going on behind the scenes, it sounded like a pure good. It's like take education to developing countries. Doesn't sound like a bad thing, unless it was like fueled by some other kind of ideology or agenda.
Yeah, 95 or 97, whatever percent it was of primary enrollment. That's awesome.
If that's accurate, that's amazing. Why would you want to stop that? Yeah.
Well, unless it started at that, and they're just it started at 94% and they got it to 95.
Well,
okay, maybe that's not a great return on investment, but still.
Yeah. What was it 15 years ago? What is it now? Kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't want to disparage it because there are things that we spend money on, not necessarily here at home.
Mm-hmm.
That are good things to spend money on.
Yeah.
Yes, we're a broke ass country. We need to get our shit in order. But something like this, I
need more information. I need more info as to why and wherefore. Unless there was, because granted that Obama got pretty much a pass on everything he did for his administration. If something really crazy was going on with this, I'm pretty sure we would have heard about it by now.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. Let's see. Do I want to do that story? Well, let's see. I got Katy Perry and I got the Hollywood strike. What do you want?
Let's do the Hollywood strike.
Hollywood strike first.
Okay, Hollywood strike. Hollywood is battening down the hatches in preparation for a potential writers' strike, and TV viewers could be doing the same. The Writers Guild of America and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers are coming down to the wire as they aim to negotiate a new contract that would keep Hollywood working and avoid a potentially costly strike. A strike will begin on May 2nd if a new deal is not reached on Monday. Like the last writer's strike, which started in late 2007 and lasted for 100 days, a strike would see television shows cease their operations and cause a domino effect that would be evident to consumers even at a time of so-called peak TV. Because of the timing, with many broadcast shows ending their seasons in May, viewers wouldn't feel the effects in some areas right away. Still, a prolonged strike could mean many of those programs having their fall returns delayed. Here's a look at some of your favorite TV shows that would be affected or not. I'll just go down the list, and if you want more information on one, I'll stop and read the extra information. The Walking Dead, Let's see. Homeland, The Americans, the Ryan Murphy universe. I don't even know what that is. Oh, that's all they list. Okay. The good news, some big content makers like Netflix have a deep bench of buzzy shows with full seasons completed and ready for launch, which are mostly leaked now by the Dark Overlord. Let's see. The next season of, they mentioned Orange is the New Black. Showtime, meanwhile, has the much anticipated Twin Peaks revival locked and loaded. Okay. And HBO's Game of Thrones has wrapped production. One could also make the argument that a halt would likely be seen as a time for overloaded TV viewers to empty out those Netflix queues or finally binge on the ones that got away. Okay. Yeah, well, this can affect a whole bunch of other things because I thought it was going to affect movies because this would throw off, I would assume, also movie productions as well. But
well, with that, I mean, most movies that are ready to go into production, the scripts have been written for a while. I mean, it might affect like rewrites.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as with the show, which is, written year by year. With movies, it would have to be a really, really long strike for it to be really hurtful.
Yeah. Okay, and this is a very short one about Katy Perry, because I'm not quite sure I understand. Well, I usually don't understand this kind of sort of controversy for the sake of controversy, but maybe you guys can tell me what I'm missing. So the headline is Katy Perry's black hair / Obama joke bombed. And here's the context. Perhaps it was too soon, Katy Perry. The singer is facing backlash after making a joke about former President Barack Obama during an Instagram Live. Quote, "Someone says I miss your old black hair," said Perry, who recently dyed her tresses blonde. Quote, "Oh, really? Do you miss Barack Obama as well? Oh, okay. Times change. Bye. See you guys later."
What the fuck does that even mean?
I don't even know, but let's go on to how people, quote unquote, reacted. Some viewed the joke as racially insensitive. How?
Are we talking about hair color?
Yeah, so her hair was black, and she has since dyed it blonde, and someone said, "I miss your dark hair," and she says, "Well, do you also miss Barack Obama?" It doesn't make any sense to me first off, it doesn't make any sense to me as a joke. And second off, it doesn't make any sense as a racial joke because unless you're going to say that black hair and Barack Obama means racism,
I'm offended because it's stupid.
Scribe does now.
I guess. Some view the joke as racially insensitive, especially coming from Perry, who in the past has aligned herself with the Black Lives Matter movement. Let's see. One person tweeted, okay, not Katy Perry pretending to be a woke activist, then making an insensitive joke comparing her hair to Obama, one person tweeted.
Oh, God.
What else we got? Katy Perry joke. Katy Perry joke was just very tasteless. What does black hair have to do with Barack Obama? Just bad. Well, I will say it was a bad joke if that's what it was. It's got nothing to do with...
It was a bad joke, but what she was talking about was nostalgia, not about...
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
But now, of course, it's racist.
I hate people.
Let's see. Oh, Perez Hilton says Katy Perry has some explaining to do.
Perez Hilton needs to be locked in a room and beaten until he talks like a man.
But not everyone was bothered by it. This tweet says Katy Perry meant she wants Obama back and can't have him. Same way people want her black hair and won't get it back. Christ, people, LOL. And then y'all twisted this up. She wants Obama back but can't have him back. The same way people want her old hair and won't get it back because it's gone.
You almost went street there for a second.
I'm just trying to represent, yo. And yeah, so that's all the...
I was muted so you could not hear me laughing when you said that.
I'm just trying to represent, yo?
Yeah, you two being street is some of the funniest shit I've ever heard.
You should keep your mic on when you're laughing.
I am legitimately street, okay? I don't appreciate that.
No. Legitimately? That's too many syllables. You're legit street, yo.
Oh, you just got schooled.
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
Got schooled for using big words.
I know. That's kind of the... Boy, it's like opposite day or something around here. Yeah, so that's all the big news that I've got. Yeah. Ta-da.
Cool. Let's talk YouTube.
Okay. What about YouTube?
Do you want to just start with Philly D? Because I think that's the easiest.
Oh yeah.
I don't. Well,
Philly D
before we do
went
that, does
solo,
anybody?
yo.
Wait. Does anybody have a video they made today? I haven't been on YouTube to see.
No.
I have not made a video today. I looked around a lot today to see if something jumped out at me, and I might have found a couple things, but I have not got a video now.
Okay, so for our normal talk about our video segment, we're going to just talk about YouTube. You want to do the Philly D thing?
Yeah. Philly D went solo.
For those of you who don't know what that means, Phil DeFranco sold his channel, all of his channels, to the Discovery Network 7 or 8 years ago. I forget what. That included oh shit, what was the name of the one that just shut down?
I think it was SourceFed.
Yeah, SourceFed. Thank you. And there was some speculation about whether or not DeFranco would lose his channel because Discovery still technically owned it. And he came out today and said that he is free of that. He owns himself again.
Yay!
Yeah.
And that he's going to start his own news network.
Did he have to pay to get out of it, or did they talk about how that whole thing worked out?
I'm assuming he did, but he didn't say.
Okay.
I wouldn't imagine they would just let his name go free.
Mm-hmm.
It's too big of a, it's a moneymaker. Who is Phil DeFranco? Oh
What?
my God.
Oh my
You
God.
beautiful bastards. Hope you're
Big,
having a
long-time
fantastic one day. Welcome to the Philip DeFranco Show.
He's a longtime YouTuber who runs a Monday through Friday show and has a couple of other channels that he's helped build and that he sold off and made some decent money on and is now back on his own. And if you don't watch him, you really should. He does good stuff.
Yeah, Philly D's a good.
I like Philly D, even when I disagree with him.
Okay, so you want to talk about DaddyOfFive? Is there anything else to say on
Well, the one thing I do want to say about the Phil DeFranco thing is he's been talking about this news network he wants to build for a while. And I've seen this with so many creators where they want to go and do other stuff. And I understand that. I do. But I really hope he pays attention to what has made him popular and doesn't just end up with another SourceFed.
Yeah, I hope so too. Does it sound to you like he's going to change up his format a lot?
No, but when he talks about bringing in other talent, including some who might be sitting in for him on his normal show, like I watch Drama Alert, and when I watch Drama Alert, I watch for Keemstar. Half the time, the stories aren't even as funny as the way he presents them. So if I go over there and somebody else is hosting, it is just never as good, and I immediately click off. So,
yeah, I wouldn't watch the Philip DeFranco Show without Philip DeFranco.
Yeah, so I'm because he's talking about doing it 7 days a week, so I can't imagine he's planning on doing it himself 7 days a week. Maybe he is. Maybe I'm wrong there, but with what he said, I got the impression that he would be bringing in hosts to help with that sometimes. So the other big YouTube/child abuse news.
Yay! Oh wait.
Yay! Fuck. That's the first time I've ever felt guilty for doing a yay.
Yay!
That's the idea. I can do that. Or you want me to?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I can do it. So the two kids, I guess, got placed with Bio Mom. What's her name? Rose.
Rose. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are really excited about that. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't get why. This is a family that is clearly a family of white trash. Emma got removed from her mother's custody. And if you're an anti-feminist and you've ever screeched about how hard it is for a man to get full custody of his child, and you blindly get excited about the fact that, that they're back in her mom's custody, like, you have to wonder why the hell she wasn't in her mother's custody in the fucking first place. And I can't buy that that the DaddyOfFive guy is just some evil genius who managed to trick the system into. It just sounds like bullshit to me.
Here's for those of you listening along who are not up on this. Two of the children in DaddyOfFive's house are Rose's biological children. DaddyOfFive and Rose had a thing, and they made Emma and Cody. Cody was given away, basically. She signed over rights, which she says she did for just a year. And she claims that the fat bitch from the DaddyOfFive channel, what's her name, Heather, forged documents giving up custody completely. That's just for Cody.
And I haven't seen any. I have not personally seen any hard evidence of this. People keep saying that there is, but nobody has shown me anything. And until I see hard evidence of that, then I'm sorry. I'm going to have to be skeptical about it.
Yep. Emma, on the other hand, was removed from the home reportedly for abuse. So with this, here's my take. I'm with you. I don't understand why everybody's so excited, because I really worry that these children were moved from one bad situation to another. I'm not saying Rose is a bad mom. I don't know. What I do know is it is incredibly hard for a man to get full custody of children. Some of the stories I've heard about women who still get to keep their kids will make your fucking hair curl. It's horrible.
I mean, I know some personally.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too.
And
so
sorry,
I'm jaded by experience here. So I am very, very hopeful that this is a good thing, but I'm very cautious. And here's the thing I want everybody to think about here. Yes, absolutely. I think they need to be out of DaddyOfFive's home, at least until any law enforcement that needs done in that house is taken care of and severe counseling has happened. But just simply throwing them back at the mother blindly like that, what are you going to do if you wake up a year from now and find out she's treated him even worse? How are you going to feel about that? So I'm not saying don't support this. I'm saying please don't support it so blindly.
I think it's highly likely that they've traded one bad situation for another bad situation.
See, I can't say that they absolutely have. I'm saying, but
I'm saying it's likely, not that because obviously I don't know for sure, but I think it's highly likely that that's the case.
For me, what really bothers me is that this became a go Rose thing instead of we need to make sure these children are safe thing. Because that's the only reason I care about this about this at all is because of the kids. I don't give a fuck about DaddyOfFive. I don't know Rose. I don't give a fuck about her. I don't know her. If she is the great biological mom, excellent. But this shouldn't be about getting Rose her kids back. This should be about taking care of those kids, regardless of who they end up with. That's all I have to say on that.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I feel. I just, I don't know.
Well,
I'm just skeptical because, like I said, people keep telling me that there is all this evidence of these forged documents and all that kind of stuff. And I just haven't seen it. And if somebody would just show it to me, then great. But everybody's heard about it and nobody seems to be able to actually produce it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. The other thing I would say, people, she does not have the kids back permanently. This was an emergency order, which in both North Carolina and Delaware, I don't know which. From what I've heard, Rose is in Delaware temporarily, so I'm assuming they use the Delaware laws. But either way, it's the same. If children are removed under an emergency order, and I looked this up earlier, in both states, it's only guaranteed for 10 days. And what it is, in both cases, excuse me, the parent who has the children at the start doesn't get notified of it. They just come in, take the kids, but there is a hearing within 10 days. There absolutely has to be a hearing within 10 days. So the real fight on this is going to start in 10 days, and hopefully they vet the shit out of all of the people involved and do what's best for the kids here. Did you have anything else to add on that?
No, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I just listen. You've said that you've listened to the interview with the biological mom, right?
I did, yes.
And listening to that, you know, hearing her talk about it, it didn't convince me of anything, to be honest.
Mm-mm.
I know a lot of people heard that and that convinced them that, you know, she should have these kids back. But, you know, I don't know if, you know, you just don't know. And you have to be skeptical and you have to wonder, you know, if you were an abusive mother who had her kid taken away, I think I would see that as a really great opportunity to manipulate a bunch of people into being on my side.
Yeah.
Not saying that's exactly what happened, but, you know,
Well,
I think we just need to acknowledge that we don't have enough information to be fully on board with it.
as speaking of Philly D, as he always says, I want to know the whole story before I comment further, because I can't comment other than what I've said. Skeptical, and again, for me, it's all about making sure the kids are safe. I don't care about the parents at all. Finally, in YouTube news, we talked, I think it was yesterday that it was announced that Blair White was going to be talking with Gazi.
Yeah.
That's probably not going to happen now because Gazi came out with a ridiculous list of demands.
So we are getting to those, guys. I've seen that in the chat, and I'm like, all right, we're getting to it.
Calm down, guys. We can only talk about so many things at once.
Okay. Do you want to read the list?
Do you have it up?
I don't have it up right this second. I can get it up, I think. Okay.
Either way, because yeah, it's silly is what it is. It's just downright ridiculous. Here we go. Let's see. He wants 50% of the monetized revenue donated to the African People's Socialist Party. 50% of the video, 50% ownership of the video goes to the African People's Socialist Party, and they get the right to take it down at any time. They get he has full control of the agenda and debate topics, and he selects the moderator and timekeeper, both of which are part of the African People's Socialist Party.
That's just no.
Yeah. You know, I could even see the 50% of monetized revenue. That would be something that, that's not that big of a deal to me. If he's going to be part of it, okay, maybe you make that concession. The ownership of the video, full control of the agenda, and he gets to select the moderator and timekeeper. Go fuck yourself. Full control of the agenda. No. Just no.
Yeah, I would say
but
no,
to be honest, I'm not at all shocked by it. There's nothing in that that I would go, oh my God, that sounds ridiculous for him. I was like, wow, that actually sounds kind of tame for that moron. Night, baby. Love you. Sorry, Mrs. Monkey's going to sleep. So you had to hear the sweet stuff.
Oh, God. Ugh.
What? You're so judgy.
SDA, black hole of romance.
Well, she is the dark ginger.
Dark ginger.
Bloodwing says he thinks this is just Gazi's way of backing out and still sees it as having saving face. I agree with you. I can't believe he ever agreed to it in the first place, to be honest with you.
Well,
Blair
I guess
White
he
is a racist name.
really didn't agree to it, since he agreed to it with the caveat of, here are some terms that I know you'll never agree to. So, ta-da!
Well, from Blair's posts, it sounds like they were trying to work some of the stuff out. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know how much of it was. There's no real time frame given on when these demands came up. Maybe Blair jumped the gun on announcing the date and time, but that
did she actually announce the date and time?
Yeah, it was supposed to be at 2 p.m. Pacific time on the 4th.
Oh.
So, I mean, it was all locked up as far as everybody knew. I'm just wondering if your boy Pat said he hasn't backed out. He's making unfair demands, hoping Blair backs out. And I agree with that. I'm just wondering if these were the demands from the start that she was hoping she could talk him out of, or if this is shit he threw in at the end. And I suppose we may never know. What else we got going on tonight?
I got a story about apparently Tomi Lahren has settled
Oh,
with Glenn Beck. Conservative talk show host Tomi Lahren has agreed to a settlement that ends her lawsuit against Glenn Beck and his online platform, The Blaze. The
that was
lawsuit
quick.
filed in Dallas, Texas, has alleged wrongful termination. Lahren was ousted from her program after she said she was in favor of abortion rights while appearing on ABC's The View on March 17th. In a statement issued Monday, Lahren's attorney, Brian Loughton, said his client had been released from her employment contract that denied her access to the Facebook page The Blaze had set up for her. She says that page and its millions of followers now belong to Lahren. In return, the conservative talker must remove videos she made for The Blaze from the page and return them. Other terms remain confidential. So, where does Tomi go from here? I think either Fox or maybe ABC.
I could see her going to Fox. They're having their own issues right now. They're like in full meltdown since all of the sexual harassment stuff.
Yeah, should we talk about the Fox situation right now?
Sure.
Because I honestly don't think the Fox would go for her, because I think they're trying to back off of being right wing a little bit, which I know is hard for Fox, but given the changes that they've made with the shows and all that, like they had a show at 5 called The Five that's now being replaced with Eric Bowling's own show. And it's going to have a couple of different people on there who are not necessarily the typical Fox people. And everybody's pissed about it because they're not big fans of some of the people that are going to be on the show. I think it's Kat Timpf and Ebony Williams. And people aren't happy with it. So there's that. And then, of course, with Sean Hannity's whole debacle right now with the sexual harassment case, sort of.
Well, with that, the girl backed down from the worst of the claims.
Yeah.
She said basically that he invited her to his hotel room, and then she said no, and he stopped inviting her on the show. And if that's true, it's douchey. But unless she was like a paid regular, I mean, she was sometimes brought on for commentary, but she wasn't like a show regular. It's douchey. I don't think it rises quite to lawsuit level. So I think that's why she kind of backed off. But yeah, I don't know enough about these new people coming onto Fox. I haven't watched Fox in fucking years.
And none of the people are new. It's just they're just moving shit around. But essentially the thing with Sean Hannity is that he's hired his own massive lawyer team and all that because he doesn't trust the Murdochs to handle this in a way that won't end in him losing his job, which I can't blame him because that's what happened with Bill O'Reilly.
Well, with O'Reilly, I mean, he's had trouble with the allegations of sexual misconduct forever, going all the way back to his Inside Edition days. So, I mean, that basically Fox was the Catholic Church for him. They covered his ass for a long time until they just couldn't anymore.
Well, but the flip side of that, I think, is that if you're a man who does things and has a lot of money, you probably have a million sexual harassment claims against you.
Yeah, but once they start coming, maybe you clean up your act and you just hit on barmaids or something, not your employees.
Well, all of that kind of has me thinking maybe Mike Pence has the right idea when it comes to, I don't go anywhere with women who aren't my wife for any reason. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I get it.
It's not a bad idea.
No, it's not. Yeah.
But see, because of the trouble they've had with the whole sexual harassment things, I could see them bringing Tomi, however the fuck you say her name, onto the network. It would be, I mean, they lost, what was that fucking Skeletor looking bitch. The one that got in the issue with Megyn Kelly.
Skeletor. Oh my god.
She's no longer on there. So I mean, this brings in a pretty face who they can say, see, we treat women right here. So I could definitely see her getting a spot on this network somewhere.
I don't know.
I don't know if she would want it though.
Seems like news media is just, it's all in shambles right now. It seems like.
Well, I don't know how much it's in shambles, as there are a lot of people really happy to see them finally having problems. They've been the biggest network cable news for fucking ever.
Since the 90s, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, pretty much since Bill O'Reilly.
And they've been throwing everything they have at them, and nothing stuck. So
Better Red says TYT. That would be awesome. She would take over Jenks. Jenk would have no way to even talk to her. No, he wouldn't hire her because she would completely clean the floor with him.
Yeah, Anna doesn't eat already. That would just be the end of her.
Oh man, can you imagine a cat fight between Anna and Tomi?
That would be awesome.
Actually, just a debate. I'd like to see them debate. Have them debate at some college campus or something where somebody stands up and asks about the the Armenian genocide.
I'm fucking better than you.
Speaking of which, there's two movies coming out about the Armenian genocide. You know, it's the two big dramatic movies. One's got Christian Bale in it.
Oh wow.
The Christian Bale one's called The Promise, and there's one that's also got Oscar Isaac in it, who was Poe Dameron in Force Awakens, and they both cover different stories, either historical or quasi-fictional, placed during the Armenian genocide. And when these were announced, my first thought was, boy, I hope the what the flick show covers these movies on TYT. I would love to see how they dance around that subject, but they probably won't even touch them.
Yeah, they won't touch that. Yeah, that'd be awesome though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with Tomi Tart Girl, that's what I'm gonna call her from now on. I could see her wanting to stay off of network and going somewhere like InfoWars
or Rebel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rebel or InfoWars.
I think Rebel would be more likely.
Rebel would make more sense because I think InfoWars might be even a bit too wacko for Tomi, even if she was with Glenn Beck.
She worked with the Blaze.
I know, but I think Rebel or something like that would be a bit more of a lateral move.
Yeah, a little more credibility. She'd go Rebel. Yeah. But yeah, anyhow. Programming note real quick, guys, for the next, basically until next Saturday. My schedule's changing just a little bit, so I'm either going to be late to streams, or if the ones handled on my stream might have to be a little later. My wife is actually going back to the office to work for a few weeks, and she won't be home most nights until 9:30ish. If I can get the baby to bed, I can make 9 o'clock. But if she doesn't go to sleep, I mean, I don't call her the grand monkey for nothing. She is the boss of me. So just
bring her on the stream. Bring her on the stream. She can like goo goo gaga.
Yeah, at that time of night, you don't want her on the stream. She's not pleasant. She's so not pleasant when she's tired.
Yeah, give her a thimble of whiskey. She'll be fine.
Oh, there you go. Little Jack and Coke before bed.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I don't know why the baby's sleeping so well. For the record, it's only going to be on certain days. Sunday, Monday will be issues, and then Thursday, Friday will be issues. So just so y'all know. Speaking of that also, though, I have the baby tonight, so I want to try to end this early because I've had a very rough day, and I'll be crawling in bed with her. So we're going to try to wrap up by 10:30. So unless you guys have something else, we're going to start turning it over to the audience to see what they want to talk about.
I don't think so.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, audience, what do you guys got for us? Questions, comments, concerns? Tell us how sexy I am.
Monkey dick.
Monkey dick. Oh, you know what? I forgot that last night.
Oh no, you have to do it twice now.
No, we
Monkey
talked
dick.
about monkey dick.
No, you brought it up.
I thought-
You brought it up at least once.
No,
I thought it was the night before.
I make sure that we talk about monkey dick.
Oh,
I know you
whoa.
do, baby.
Monkey dick police over here.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I call you the lovely SDA.
Scotch, I have checked my Twitter notifications. I don't know
Riots?
what it is you want me to say.
The riots in Paris. The only thing I really know about the riots in Paris is that a lot of people are pissed off at Laura Southern for a bad joke.
Yeah. Today was May Day, so I know there were a lot of protests in different cities, just sort of for the sake of protests, I guess.
Okay, funny story. We went to Sonic today.
That's hilarious! Oh my god, you went to Sonic!
Up. And the peppy little chick on roller skates comes over and hands my dad's food and goes, "Happy May Day!" And he went, "What?" Like, he got
What?
really funny.
Happy?
He's
Do
like,
people even know what
serious
May Day
right now?
is?
Well, that's why he was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And he said that to her too. And I was like, "Oh my god." It was funny. And she was like, "Right? It's May 1st." I was like, "Okay."
For me, it's
fine.
very much the same as when Americans get all excited about Cinco de Mayo. You're celebrating Mexican independence, dumbasses. I understand Americans like to drink, but it would be like Mexico celebrating the 4th of July. Stop it.
Do other countries celebrate our 4th of July?
No.
Oh, I mean, it's like,
We just do it because of sombreros and maracas.
did you ever see
We
the
do it because-
Did you ever see the 5-second video or 5-second movie on Cinco de Mayo?
No.
No.
I'm going to find this. I'm going to send it to you. You can watch it during the stream. It'll make you laugh your ass off. Just give me a minute.
Oh.
No, it's hilarious.
Yeah, oh no, I'm with it. Just annoys me that people celebrate that in America like that because it's. I understand you like drinking beer. You can drink beer anyway. You don't need a reason that doesn't.
Well, shouldn't you be drinking tequila on Cinco de Mayo?
You can have cerveza.
Okay, I'm going to send this to you guys. I'm going to put it in the chat so that everybody can see this.
Which
This is classic.
chat?
The stream chat. This is every Cinco de Mayo. I watch this at least once or twice, but also it just came to me now. So there it is. It literally lasts like 5-6 seconds. So just give it a listen real quick.
That's awesome. Exactly.
Yeah. See,
That's all I have to say.
it embodies everything that is relevant to Americans about Cinco de Mayo right there. Oh man, there's another one where they find a dead body. They did a whole little series of these little videos a few years ago, and most of them are hilarious. But Cinco de Mayo in particular is classic.
Kate Winston says, funny story. I once accidentally wore a shirt that had the London Jack on 4th of July. Well, see, that's just an American thing to do. I'm going to start doing that on the 4th of July. I'm going to start wearing a British flag. Just kind of a fuck you to the old country.
Oh, Mexican Independence Day isn't actually July 5th.
May 5th, but yeah.
Sorry, May 5th. Sorry. No, but it's
Yeah,
not.
the 5th
apparently.
of May.
That's what they told me in Spanish class, and that's what I'm going for.
Our friend Fernanda in the chat says that's not actually the Mexican Independence Day, so I'm
Take that up with Senorita Sanchez.
Senorita Sanchez. Let's see, did I miss it? Did somebody
Who's
say what it
that?
was?
That was my Spanish teacher.
Oh.
Oh, my German teacher was Frau Straud.
Oh, that's an excellent name.
Frau Straud.
I thought you were going to say that Senorita Sanchez was a movie character or something, and Scribe was going to be like, ah!
Okay, Cinco de Mayo is the date to commemorate the Mexican Army's unlikely victory over French forces at the Battle of Puebla.
Ah. Oh, September 16th is the real Mexican Independence Day.
Yes.
We don't celebrate that.
You know what?
Okay.
I don't celebrate any of it because I'm not Mexican. That's all I'm saying. So
Well.
this would be like somebody celebrating Gettysburg in Mexico, if that makes you feel better.
Yay, Gettysburg! let's drink to Gettysburg Day! Yay!
So yeah, I swear to God, that's how they taught us it in Spanish classes. That Cinco de Mayo was Mexican independence. So I stand corrected.
Can we
But it's
celebrate
still
the fall
not-
of the Alamo?
I don't think we're supposed to talk about that yet.
Too soon? What?
Too soon.
Or are we talking about the movie that was the Alamo with Billy Bob Thornton that was a complete and absolute bomb? Oh, it was such a bomb. Let's see. Scribe doesn't like guns. Well, I don't own any, and I don't find myself, attracted to guns, but yeah. So I guess in that sense, I don't like them. If we're talking in a political sense or a constitutional sense, it's a completely different conversation. Oh, Denmark celebrates U.S. independence.
Well, that's weird.
Good for them. I wonder why that is. It's just an excuse for them to smoke more weed.
What are you looking up?
Make more wooden shoes.
This was in the chat, dear.
Yeah, somebody. I'm paying attention to chat. Our fans, our viewers.
Yeah, if we turned it over to them, we should probably pay attention to them.
Yeah, jeez.
What? I'm sorry.
But you're sorry. Can we have a national sex day? Well, that's every day, and that sex is male, according to feminists.
Oh, well played.
Oh, let's see.
Very clever.
Canada celebrates U.S. independence.
Canada was founded running from U.S. independence. They're not allowed to celebrate it.
Denmark was the
Don't get me
first.
wrong. I love you, Canadians, but let's be
Denmark was the first nation to support American independence. Is that true? So because they supported us first, they celebrate our independence because they were. So wait.
No, well that's just good manners.
No, they're celebrating the historical equivalent to putting the first comment on a YouTube video. Wow, that's great. That's epic.
Now I could see the French celebrating July 4th, given their history with England and what a fuck you it was to England that we broke away.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be the only other country I could actually see celebrating our national holiday.
Kay Winston says National Sex Day is June 9th because 6/9.
Nice.
SDA, what is your most recent story about? What do you mean?
Probably the story you're writing.
Oh, I can't tell you. It's spoilers.
You gotta buy the book.
When the book gets published, you can buy it.
It's about a dark and stormy night.
Messier Fox, is it Messier or Messier? Anyway, Messier Fox, Scribe can connect anything to a movie like a conspiracy theorist can connect anything to the Illuminati. It's probably true.
You're a walking movie encyclopedia. It's weird.
If I gave it a try, I could probably do that. We haven't actually talked in focus terms about movies since we just gave SDA her summer watching list, which I don't even know if she started yet. You still got to finish Daredevil first.
And even with that, we didn't go into the movies. We just named
not really
movies that we think she should.
Yeah,
she would
try
enjoy.
To remain spoiler free as much as possible.
If you had the opportunity, to get a baby penguin as a pet, would you? Fucking duh.
I don't know how good of pets they make.
Make it work.
Can you domesticate a penguin? I'm sure you could. But I don't know.
Am I a lesbian? No. Yeah, like Shiny Pants said, I'm only a half lesbian.
She's half lesbian.
And I don't even like lesbians because lesbians are scary, so I'd kind of default to men.
What was Patrick the saint of? Green beer.
Green beer.
Yep, green beer and shamrocks.
Drunken Irishman puking in the street.
He was a patron. We celebrate St. Patrick's Day
to get drunk, just like Cinco de Mayo.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like.
Look it up.
What is the history behind St. Patrick's Day? Shut the fuck up.
Nice. Yes. We just reenacted that video.
I know, right? Let's see. I'm the saint of Ethiopian genocide. Jesus.
Well done.
Thanks, Miggest of Tau.
It's not running the snakes out of Ireland.
Yes.
I'm just going to cry now.
Okay. St. Patrick gave Ireland the Zionist cult where Jews are the Chosmaster race of God. Okay. I feel like I'm listening to somebody that's coming straight from InfoWars. Is there any questions or stuff that we want to talk about?
Questions.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we don't have questions. We allow too many questions on this channel. They've run out.
Guess. Give me a check. Give me a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon
someone
challenge.
got pissy. I'm bi, but I don't like girls, so I only date guys. Stop that BS. No, like I've dated women. So
yeah, like Bay.
Fuck up.
She has tasted a smush cookie, y'all.
A fair number of smush cookies.
A fair number.
How many of y'all can say that?
I know. All right, Scissor Sisters.
So,
are you smoking?
Me?
No.
No. Yeah. SDA. Are you smoking? Are you?
No.
I also lie about smoking. So no, I'm not smoking.
Have you ever smoked pot, SDA?
Do I seem like the type of person who has smoked pot?
You really want me to answer that question?
Pot.
Yeah.
What?
You cut out there, monkey.
I said you seem like the kind of person who needs to smoke pot. Relax, man. It'll be okay.
Here we go. Scribe, what's the weirdest porno you've ever seen? The weirdest porno? Oh, it was this. I don't even know if you could find it anymore. I was at a birthday party and somebody brought a porn that was just called Goth. That was just Goth, and it was just this gross, just like skinny, really pale girls with like bad mascara on her face and stripy socks, and it made no sense, but it was all it was like visually repellent porn, just the way they did it. So if you can find Goth, which I think was like back in the 90s or something, then there you go. That's probably the weirdest I've seen, at least off the top of my head.
A bunch of people in the chat said that I seem like someone who would smoke pot.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I fix that?
Smoke pot.
No.
I don't want to smoke pot. How do I seem like a person who wouldn't smoke pot? That's
smoke weed every day.
No, I don't
offended.
Oh, excuse me. There was a question somebody asked. Where'd it go?
If you could do spins on an airplane, would you? What spins?
Polydub said, why do you seem unaware of the Canadian invasion of the U.S. Capitol in the War of 1812? That's an easy question. Because the winners get to write history.
Yay! The end.
The end. That's...
How would I benefit from pot? Nobody benefits from pot unless you're like have cancer or something. And I don't have cancer,
now,
so that's fine.
Lots of people benefit from pot. I would name Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, no shit. Well, that was more
well, yeah, but he did pot too. Yeah, whatever.
There's actually, especially for a lot of artistic types, being of altered state does seem to help them. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not encouraging people to do drugs or alcohol in order to master their creative juices, but it does seem to help some people. That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of altered state, did you ever see the movie Altered States?
I have not.
Oh, that's a weird movie. If you've ever seen Videodrome, it reminds me a lot of Videodrome because it's just that psychedelically freaky. And I think it was John Hurt's first movie ever. Yeah, I think so. His first role in any film.
Miggest of Tell, what are you talking about? We lost 1812. He's saying we lost the War of 1812. And no.
We did? Oh. I was unaware.
If we did, we'd be British again.
Oh, sorry, William Hurt, not John Hurt. John Hurt's a different actor. William Hurt. That was his first movie, Altered State. Sorry. Got my Hurts mixed up.
Polydub asks, what time do I wake up? I seem to tweet really early. It depends. Some nights I've actually started getting up to like 7 hours of sleep, which is great, but most nights it's more
Yay.
like 3.
Are any of you pagan? Well, pagan's kind of a broad term, so you might want to get more specific, but I'm not religious in any way, shape, or form, so I guess my answer would be no.
I'm not a dirty hippie, no.
SDA, do you worship a pagan god?
I mean, I'm interested in pagan mythology, but no.
Yes. Okay.
SDA writes and Monkey and Scribe like movies and comics, so I'm curious, have any of you made any of your own characters?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Plenty. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I've posted those anywhere that could be found. Maybe. Yeah. So I have, and I would give all the backstories and all my nerdery of them, but it might inadvertently dox me. So no.
Excuse me, Jesus, what is wrong with my voice today?
Is it a day that ends in Y?
Yeah, exactly. Monkey, are you recovering? Okay, yeah, sure. Are any of you pagan?
Yeah.
No.
Let's see. Scribe, have you also seen Brainstorm, given you mentioned Videodrome and Altered States? I may have seen Brainstorm. I don't recall off the top of my head, no pun intended. So I've seen a lot of crazy movies. Have you seen From Beyond? The H.P. Lovecraft thing with Jeffrey Combs and a couple of years after Reanimator. That's a freaky movie. And there's also this one part where what's her name is in dominatrix gear. Ooh, thanks, Tom. On May 5th, Americans are celebrating a foreign policy victory. The French installed an emperor named Maximilian, and the U.S. was unable to over cause if civil war. I don't know what that means. Mexican independence is September 16th. Yep.
Thank you for the donation. Yeah, like I said, I'm wrong about the exact thing, and you know why? Because I'm not Mexican, and it's all Mexican stuff. It's not a U.S. holiday, and it was only really celebrated in the U.S. in any major way within like the last 15 years. When I was growing up, nobody gave a damn about Cinco de Mayo, ever. It's another one of those things where multiculturalism is seeping through, and that's fine. If you're Mexican, by all means, have at it. Good for you guys winning a battle against the French. That's hard. Sorry.
Wow.
Essentially, if you know, it's really like if you've won a battle against the French, essentially you've been in a war with France.
Yes.
So.
Oh, that was fucked up. I was low. I apologize.
Wow.
It's not low. It's true.
People are going to start accusing me of being racist now.
Again?
Do you guys have a favorite book? Because I really don't have one. Like, I feel like a favorite book should be one that I could reread and not get tired of.
I have a favorite book. I got two favorite books. First one is Cain, C-A-I-N, by Robert Huggins. I've talked about this before. It's from the early 2000s. It reads like the sort of best action movie you could imagine. It's got a special forces guy who has a revenge complex. It's got Satanism. It's got a monster. It's got all types of conspiracies
What's
and government
it called?
stuff. Cain, C-A-I-N, just called Cain. That's the name of the bad guy in the book. And
does it have a lot of action scenes?
oh yeah, it's super duper like action. I mean, I'm amazed, honestly, that at this point that book hasn't been snapped up and turned into an action movie. Oh, yeah, thanks, Tom, because of the Civil War. The other book is, and I own like 3 different editions of this, is Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I've always loved that story and the 50s movie version of it. The 79 version of the movie is really good because of its ending, even though the hairstyles and everything really date it, unfortunately. But I love the story of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
What's that by the first one?
Robert Huggins, I think it's called his name. Huggins. It's just C-A-I-N is the name of the book. You can probably find it in paperback. I've got the hard copy because I bought it right off the shelf when I saw it. I was like, this looks cool. Because it's got all religious overtones. It's got Satan worship. It's got a big fanged monster that like rips people apart. It's got supernatural. It's got special force. It's got everything. It's great. Let's see what else.
Okay, guys, we are going to throw out last call because we got 10 minutes left on the timer I want to do here. So if you got something to say it now. I don't want to hear any bitching about it.
Yeah, that's right. No bitching.
No bitching.
Let's see. Triggerati says, "Oh, sorry."
I was listening to a feminist today.
Why would you do that?
Oh, it was actually Sinatra Says' fault. He covered Woolly Bumblebee talking about free speech. And I don't watch Sargon, so I actually wanted to ask you guys because SDA, you watch Sargon quite a bit, don't you?
Yeah.
At least more than me.
Yeah.
In her video, she says that Sargon, That Guy T, and Vernaculus defend Richard Spencer and Millennial Woes, saying that those two guys stand up for freedom of speech a lot.
Yes.
Spencer and... Have they said that? Do people say Spencer stands up for freedom of speech?
Well, and somebody can correct me, it's been a while, but I know that in the stories where like Sargon has interviewed or done streams with Millennial Woes before. There's this very famous stream where Sargon kind of crashes a stream with a whole bunch of white nationalists, and Millennial Woes is in there. And just through about an hour or so of just questioning, Sargon basically tears apart most of their arguments. And out of everybody in that stream, Millennial Woes was the most calm and professional. I think, if I'm not mistaken, again, people haven't defended Spencer and Woes's views, but defended their advocacy for free speech regardless of views. If that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing else there.
Yeah, so if you want to take defending somebody's right to speak freely as then also agreeing with them, then you're completely off base. If that's what the argument was, I guess.
Well, the argument is what she says that Sargon said, not that Sargon defends Spencer's right to free speech, but that Spencer himself is saying people should have the right to free speech.
I would have to look that up.
Spencer said that?
I don't know. Let's see.
Not that I know of, which is why, the way that she said it, I was just like, what the fuck are you even talking about? But I don't watch those guys enough. I don't watch Vernaculus or That Guy T or Sargon on any regularity. Who the fuck said some dumb American is flat-chested? Are you blind or have you not looked?
Yeah, that's not true. We get an echo from her all the time from the space between her cleavage.
She's got big old honking hooters.
Oh, Jesus. See, no, I wasn't quite that vulgar, thank you. I was a bit more subtle about it.
That wasn't subtle?
Let's see. Oh, here we go. Well, I've got an article from, or a blog maybe, from April 17th. Headline says, Richard Spencer mounts big fight for free speech after a campus cancels his speech. In a short statement, the university said that they have arrived at their decision to cancel Spencer's speech in consultation with law enforcement. Spencer had already paid $700 to rent a room. Let's see. In an interview with the student newspaper, The Plainsman, Spencer said he is not backing down and even promised that the university will rue the day that decided to cancel his speech. Spencer is not taking the cancellation sitting down without putting up a big fight. He is waging a free speech war against the university instead. So I don't have a quote there from him, but in the broad spectrum, sure, he supports free speech for himself.
I wouldn't say he supports his right to speak, which I have no problem with, but that doesn't make him a free speech warrior.
No, but I don't know. And it's not a matter of like I'm saying he hasn't. I don't know if he's ever tried to shut down other people from speaking. I have no idea. So
I really wanted to look. I'm going to have to look into this more. So, Brian Waters says he's blind and he's going to need some physical evidence to verify she has boobs. Slap them together a few times so they can hear it.
No. Jesus. You're just going to have to go without.
Just oil them up on the microphone.
No.
Oh, okay, fine. Let's see.
Wouldn't do something like that on a live stream.
I would.
Oh, you do it in a private stream though, right?
That's not what I said.
Oh, okay.
It sounded like what you said.
Yeah, you're making a very, very distinct distinction there.
A very distinct distinction.
A very distinct distinction.
Okay.
Let's see. Monkey Scribe SDA, do you have any pet peeve sayings you wish people would drop?
Woke.
Yes.
Nah.
Cuck. And they've taken the meaning of cuck and just pissed all over it. I prefer he bitch because it's a much more accurate term.
Oh, I remember it now. Hello. Just stop saying hello. I hate that shit. Everybody stop saying hello. Come up with a new greeting. That's so old now. It's so old fashioned. I'm kidding. I don't know. I can't think of any. Most of the stuff that I hear on the internet, like woke and what was the other one? God, I forget what it is now. Hold on, it'll come to me. It's in one of those catchphrases that they turn into something that means something, but it doesn't mean anything. On fleek. On fleek, whatever the fuck that is. Stop saying it. It doesn't mean anything. It's so
You
on fleek.
sound like such an old man.
I am an old man.
You know one that's going to get me in trouble?
What's that?
What?
I hate everybody saying keck. And it's not because I have a problem with everybody jumping on and having fun with it. It's not that. It's that 90% of you have no fucking idea where that comes from.
I actually know where it comes from.
Do you?
Tell us.
Yeah,
Tell
it's some disgusting World of Warcraft thing, ain't it?
Yes, it is.
It's like LOL, but in Warcraft.
In Warcraft, the two sides can't talk to each other, but you can see the other side talking. So when you are writing, like when you type out LOL, what the other side sees is keck.
Yeah, right.
I knew that because somebody told me.
Yeah.
I've never played World of Warcraft. I would never sink that low.
Thea says, how about wubba lub 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 instead of hello scribe? Well, that would sound most aquatic, so sure. That's a Cthulhu greeting.
Most aquatic.
Most aquatic. Well, I think we're coming up on the end of the run, guys.
Yeah, we are. We're at 10:27. According to the Urban Dictionary, that's cheating. Anyway, I am glad to see SDA knew a little bit of nerd trivia, even if somebody had to tell her.
Yay!
Why do you like? I know nerd things.
You know Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Hilariously.
Why don't you huff at me, little girl?
Oh, you like her huffing.
I do.
She'll huff and she'll puff and she'll blow. And oh, wait.
Okay, all right. You calm down, both of you.
I don't know how. I don't know how to calm down.
We're allowed to be silly.
It's my libido. It won't stop.
Okay.
Anyhow.
So
yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. Chat, thank you so much for joining us. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. Scribe, SDA, you're awesome as well. Thank you for joining me every night. I enjoy this so much.
Sure.
Now I feel weird saying your life makes me sad. See you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.